How's it going, guys? Dynamite here, coming to you as always from the Digital Warfare 24/7 forums, and once again we have a dual guest commentary here, and it is going to be featuring Archer once again, who you saw in the last commentary, and my good buddy from the UK, Toffeeman. If you guys want to say hello.
Hello. Word.
And that's both of them right there, guys. So we are going to be looking at some gameplay of Highfives for God, who is another excellent forum member here. So he is going to be playing some domination on Goin using the PDW, and we see him pushing up to B here, using his smokes. He's got some smoke, he's got some C4. Look at him picking up that triple right there. Very nice. Archer, how do you feel about how he's playing the opening part of this game?
I really like how he's playing. I mean, the only main criticism I have is his lack of carefulness, to say. He reloads a lot in the open. Yeah, but overall, he makes really good use of the smoke and the C4, as you've seen before.
I'm going to pause it right here real quick, and what do you guys think? He's triple capped here right after the start of the match. Now, which flag do you think he should go for? Which flag would you guys personally go for in this case? Nick, maybe you want to speak to that. He's got a friendly on C, but B's maybe exposed, and A's maybe their home spawn. Where would you go, do you think?
I think, personally, I'd go B, but I think maybe he identifies the fact that the B flag's probably the most important in domination, so he's really going to get, I really think he's going to get, certainly go for that B flag, try and assert a bit of pressure onto the enemy team, get that B flag, hopefully, you know, the rest of his teammates will pick up that C flag, as they seem to be spawning around that area at the moment. So he's from the start of the game, from the very start of the game, he seems to have gone aggressive on the B flag anyway. So hopefully that's what he's going to find out.
Well, let's take a look and see what route Highfives is going to be running here. He is indeed going to be pushing into B-Dom, and let's see how he approaches this objective. He is going to watch off to the right there, but Archer, I think I remember you're saying that he probably should have conducted himself a little bit differently there. Let's back that up to that death and see what he could have done a little bit differently. Actually, I backed it ahead too far. Hang on, guys.
Yes, you did. He walks in here and he actually catches a glimpse of the guy in the window from back here. You can see it really easily when he's because he's moving his head a little bit, and furthermore, by looking at the map, he should expect people over there. And instead of walking against the wall, the corner with his pro habit, that kind of stuff, sneaking up on the guy in the window, he just walks out to B, which is a very bad decision because now he's at a disadvantage. He has no cover, and the enemy has a head glitch.
Yeah, those curved walls really add an interesting dynamic to this map, that you can sort of run up the side of them and get like an elevation change. And yeah, like you were saying, Archer, that head glitch there is a place where you can almost always count on finding an enemy looking over B. What were you going to say there, Nick?
He should have identified he had no support. Possibly thrown a smoke down on the B flag and either held off a little bit to see if any enemies were going to kind of move onto the B flag themselves, or he had a C4 in there.
And a smoke, yeah.
He could have possibly used that as a distraction also, but he should have waited for support either way.
Yeah, wait for support, and at the very least, to not just throw yourself out into the open like that when you have stuff in your inventory like the smoke that would be so good for concealment there. So let's roll here and let's see if he approaches the B flag a little bit differently on his next light. So here we're going to see him respawning. He is going to be headed down this right-hand side again. And do either one of you guys want to talk a little bit about how he's approaching this right side flank?
Yes. He made a very open reload back then with 62 rounds. That was he canceled the reload and got the kill, but I think a recurring theme in Highfives gameplay is he just reloads a ton of times even if he doesn't need to.
And he has that extended mags on the PDW, which already has a crap ton of ammo, you're right.
But he did, I like how he moved around the little column type thing back there.
Yeah, he did a good job staying to the outside of that, I think. But then maybe when he was looking up into their spawn, he was trying to sort of get up on the curved wall of the skate park, but maybe if he had pushed forward to that rail that's on this pause screen right now and sort of looked over the top of that, that might have been a little bit more advantageous for him.
Definitely.
Let's get it rolling again here as Highfive respawns. He is not going to be daunted. He is going to be trying to push back here. You can see that he's got all these enemies on the UAV in front of him, and he's going to follow up behind this guy into B-Dom. Now notice, let's pause it here. Notice how different this is from the last time when we saw him pushing into this B-Dom room. Now he actually has some teammates here with him, and let's see if maybe he does a bit of a better job deploying that smoke and C4 to his advantage. There he goes, throwing down that C4.
Can you pause it right here?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so we noticed that he has friendlies to his front. 2 friendlies to be exact. But there's nobody to his right.
Yeah, exactly.
He remains looking forward. He should definitely turn to his right, where a teammate was recently killed.
That's a really good point. Look at that dark area over on the map where there isn't anyone. You know they're going to be coming off A spawn and headed that direction. You don't need triple redundancy watching that same route straight ahead from B-Dom. I think you're absolutely right, Archer. And if we refer to the minimap from a little bit earlier as well, you'll actually see that a green triangle winked out over there, showing that a friendly player had died, and I believe there was also a red dot indicating enemy fire over there. So let's see if High-Five pays the price for watching this incorrect direction. I think he does kind of realize, oh shit, I should be watching, but by the time he tries to draw on that guy, he's just too far behind and he isn't able to do anything about it. So I'd like to see maybe a little bit more awareness there from High-Five. So now he's going to be pushing up to B-Dom. He's going to be using this little wall here for cover, and he manages to take that guy out despite the significant recoil of the PDW at that range. He's going to be sitting behind this wall to pick up a reload, and there we see a pretty hilarious pause frame right there as he's got that tomahawk embedded right in his skull. I think Nick referred to it earlier as a cheeky tomahawk, right in his cheek there.
His body looks ready.
So we're going to keep things rolling here as High-Five respawns once again on the C side of the map. He sees that they're capping B. What's he going to do? He's going to deploy that C4, and he picks up his second triple C4 of the match. So now we're going to see him pushing into the A spawn here. And Nick, did you maybe want to talk a little bit about how you like this strategy that he's employing of sort of hovering around the outside of their spawn? Because I think he starts to really do some good work here.
Yeah, I think from this point on, and at some point in the second half as well, when the enemy grinds a strange map for spawn traps, it's really easy, in my opinion, to spawn trap on A if you've got a couple of competent teammates. What High-Fives is doing here is he's basically going solo on A, which you can do. He survives the ballista shot there, but if you see that he gets all of his streaks here, he's building up a little bit of confidence now to kind of play more aggressively onto the A flag, and he got his rewards with the kill streaks. He did die, but as I say, he's got full streaks, and he's going back on the B flag, and they're just trying to say it's a bit more dominance, and just try and see the game out.
Definitely. We see
back there.
Did you want me to pause someplace, Archer?
I just want to say the reason he died is because he tried to reload in the open when he had like 30, 40 rounds left.
Yeah, again, like you said, that's something that sort of defines this gameplay a little bit, unfortunately, is his willingness to reload despite that extended mags and despite the already impressive magazine capacity of the PDW. And he's going to be running through...
Switch thing.
I can see that. So what do you guys think about these kill streaks that he's running? Maybe we can talk about that now that he's actually earned them. Why do you think he's running both the Stealth Chopper and the AGR together?
Shooter down!
Losing B. Well, it's a good mix of kill streaks, to be honest with you. The lightning strike's a no-brainer. For domination, obviously putting the lightning strikes down on those flags will gain you the most kills, because obviously that's where the main attack points are coming from. The AGR and the Stealth Chopper is very simply a ground support and an air support kind of solution. Obviously, he's going to use the AGR to, maybe patrol around the B area, the inside areas, and obviously he's got the Stealth Chopper for picking up the people coming off their spawn, whether it be on A or C. But he's got a good mix of support there.
Sure. Now here, Nick, I think you said that you would have liked to have seen him go back to defend C. Was that you who said that, or was that Archer?
I believe that was Archer, if he wants to pick that up.
Oh, okay, Archer, you want to run with that?
So, he exits his spawn, and C flag is flashing, indicating there's an enemy capturing the flag. And according to his radar, his teammates don't seem to be doing much about it. I think they're running towards B, occupied with other things. So I think he should have maybe moved around back to the parking lot, got the guy off C. Even though it's only 30 seconds left in the round, any points count. I mean, it's a really close game.
And if you're getting those defensive points, then that especially is going to help add to his next round of kill streaks. And just to reflect back on his kill streaks again real quick, I think we were talking earlier about how the AGR really complements the Stealth Chopper nicely, and it can do the same with the escort drone as well, because the AGR is more of a ground-based threat, whereas those other two I mentioned are more aerial threats. So you'll have them looking up at the sky trying to figure out, oh, where's the Stealth Chopper, where's the escort drone? And they've got this AGR roving around that's just shooting them while their eyes aren't trained on ground level. So I think that's a pretty good mix, and that's something that I'm going to have to try myself. I think, Nick, you said that you do run that kill streak setup anyway, just on your own, but that's something I might have to try out. I like that.
Fantastic combination.
There he trades C4s with that guy coming from Adon. He's going to hang on to his streaks until the start of next round. What do you guys think about that? Is that good planning there?
Yes.
And
yes, I agree.
Why so might that be, guys?
Well, because I mean, maybe he could have used a lightning strike if he wanted to, but as I say, with about 15-20 seconds of the round to go, there's no rush. They're winning by 11 points, as you can see. So he's obviously just going to pull out an assault as quick as he can, because obviously, you know, the flags are neutral from the start of this half anyway. So he's going to hopefully use that lightning strike maybe to gain a bit more of an attacking presence on B.
Sure. So let's see how he's going to use these streaks. I think he actually waits on it, and that's a pretty smart idea, because he gets to push really far into their spawn. I really like this right here, how he screens that window with smoke and then throws the C4 in. I think that was just a fantastic way to approach that, and just running straight to B and getting to that head glitch spot where you constantly see snipers overlooking B, to be able to get that line of sight blocked off. Gets the C4 through there, and now he's going to flank through here. He is way ahead of where the enemy is anticipating him from coming from, I think. So that's really going to pay. Oh, go for it, Archer.
Yeah, I want to say that I like his opening route. He skips the home flag to get straight to B. I normally don't take this route when I'm on A flag.
Which way would you go?
It seems that I normally go right, you know, around the roll ramp thing, come up in the right side.
That's the same way I go too.
But Highfives really did it nice. He went really fast. He got the smoke at the C4, and it really pays off for him. He gets a lot of kills up here.
Yeah, man.
Nice move on his part.
I'd use a similar strategy to what he's using now, because obviously he's feeling confident from his performance in the first half. So you know, why not give his teammates a bit of a head start?
Sure,
he's capable of it.
Sure, definitely. And I think that extreme conditioning helped him get there a lot faster too. So just really taking the enemy by surprise here, and let's see how this develops for him as he continues to push into their spawn and catching them right as they're coming out of these doorways here. Picks up one, picks up two. Those guys are thinking, hey, I'm just going to wander out of my spawn and start sniping at B, and it's nothing doing, because Highfives is just on top of his shit right now. Now that he dies, he's going to start calling in his streaks, and this is where Highfives is going to start really going to town, deploying those kill streaks, racking up those points. Let's see what he's going to do here. We'll see him flanking around the left side here, and I kind of like that as we pause right now. You'll see that his teammates are pretty heavily loaded towards the right side of the map, and this idea of spacing and separation from your teammates is something that's really important to Call of Duty a lot of the time, I feel. You want to make sure you maintain that distance, because a lot of friendly players are going to attract a lot of enemy players. They're going to attract a lot of attention. And if you want to try to push up and get a flank and kill some enemies, this is, I would say, the way to do it. As he gets,
you're going to find in the top that he's going to do a lot of the Slayer work, particularly now that he's got his full streak.
Certainly, he's saying now's the time for me to start bringing it home. So he's picking up kills with his lightning strike, with his stealth chopper, with his everything. He's really making a really good push here. Now, he still hasn't capped the B flag at this point, so let's see what Highfives is going to do. I believe he's going to double back and do his best to secure this flag for his teammates. There you see him leading in with the smoke once again, bouncing off the walls a little bit there. He ends up going head-to-head with a guy with C4 in that position again. So, what do you guys think about... Go for it, Archer.
I don't think he checked his right enough as he walks towards B. I mean, he ends up coming around the right side, but... I mean, another thing that, I mean, Highfives just seems to not check his flanks enough as he's going around.
Yeah, he's using a technique here that I tend to use on this map, where he doubles back around that wall a lot, you know, coming out from the B flag towards X. This is especially where the suppressor comes in handy, because obviously keeps him off the radar. They're kind of confused as to where he's coming from. I think at this point the enemy team looks a little bit disheveled, because they've lost 2 flags. They're getting killed off spawn. They're not 100% where Highfives is coming from, because he's constantly on the move. As you can see, he's doubled back there like 3 times now. So he knows where they're spawning from. Very intelligent play, and it's reaped the rewards for him.
Definitely.
I want to say something his airstrike, when you call that out, that was a very open space.
It sure was. It sure was, wasn't it? Yeah, he just sort of stood out in the open. And I mean, you may as well take the split second to go prone in that situation, as he picks up the Merciless Streak, and he's going to be calling in another round of Stealth Chopper and AGR. That is just going to be harassing the enemies. Like Nick was saying, it's going to keep them off. It's going to keep them from being able to pay attention to where Highfives is coming from. Pushes up into B and gets taken out there, but he's not going to let that. He's not going to let that set him back at all.
He caps the flag. He's working capping the flag. I would have maybe crouched or prone right here as he's working on taking C. Making himself a harder target.
Good use of the UAV, though. Good use of the UAV. He knows where they're coming from.
Yeah, he saw them all stacked up on that left side, and he was ready for them. Right there, that guy's taking out some air support, and with some rather shaky, spray and pray, High-Five manages to dial in on him there and pick up that lightning strike, which he is going to get a double with. And now here comes a VSAT from Dunpizzle, one of his teammates who's playing with him, and at this point it's just icing on the cake. I mean, he's going to be able to pre-fire these guys with the VSAT very nicely. He's just going to be taking faces with his PDW at this point. So guys, let's try to talk a little bit more about his general style of play and his class. Do you guys have any comments on things that High-Five tends to do well, things maybe he could work on a little bit more? What can we learn from this guy? What is the point of us reviewing this gameplay at the end of the day?
That overall aggressive play, particularly in this kind of environment on this map, is probably the way to go. I mean, he's set up really well. I noticed that one of his perks is Dead Silence. Now, you kind of think to yourself on Black Ops 2, Dead Silence, it's not really as effective as what it's been in previous Call of Duties. But maybe he thought that if he's going to go for a little bit of a flanking style, then maybe Dead Silence he feels will be a little bit more beneficial than, say, Dexterity or maybe Tac-Mask or something like that. Because while in the first half of the match he was going pretty hard for the objective, he took more of a Slayer kind of role in the second half, so I think it may have benefited him a little bit.
All good points. Archer, what do you have to say about his general play style?
Well, I love the smoke. I love the C4. High-Fives is really good at that stuff. That's one of his best qualities. That's why I love to play with him a lot.
I agree.
Also the trophy systems, although he wasn't using them this time around.
I know. I was surprised to see that.
One thing that I didn't like about his play was how, I've said it many times before, but how uncautious he is. He reloads in the open a lot of the times. He's just waltzing around the corner, not being very careful, and that has cost him some deaths. But overall, I think he's a very aggressive player. He got a lot of kills. He did a very good job on this game.
And certainly.
Yeah, his playstyle's great. Very, very Twitch-oriented.
Sure. And just to add in one more thing, maybe that he could use his mini-map a little bit better, is like in that situation where he was trying to cap B, if he sees a green triangle of his friendlies blink out on the mini-map to his right, and he already has guys watching in front of him, he needs to be able to focus in on that and readjust his field of view so that he's watching from the most advantageous angle possible. I think if he works on that, that's really going to help him improve his awareness and his overall gameplay as well. Well, guys,
yeah, a little bit careless in the beginning, but he pulled it together in the end.
Certainly. So here we see the final score is going to be 64-17, 7,600 score. An excellent game from High-Fives, and I think we've been able to learn a lot from this. So thank you guys so much, Archer and Toffeeman, for helping me out with this. Stay tuned till next week, guys.